Oh my gosh, the microphone was not on. So far we have had quite a lot going on and our microphone was not on and we just recognized that. I deeply apologize, everyone. We had an announcement and we had the Lord's Prayer and we just had meditation. Ah, darn it. I didn't notice it. You just noticed it, Nancy. You got a text. Well, I deeply apologize for that. I should have turned it on and I completely let it pass my mind, and I apologize. Been talking away. Welcome to Unity live stream. I am sorry. Oh, there it is. Margaret. Thank you, Margaret. Let me recenter myself after I've discovered that nobody could hear me. Well, that's okay. Everybody in this room could hear me, all three of you. Okay, well, let's get started on what we're supposed to be talking about here. Nancy, can you click it over? Oh. You hit the arrow that goes the other direction. Here, let me see. Well, yes. Yes, the hero's journey. I am centering myself because this is probably the first time we've ever went live and the mic wasn't on. So I've got the hero's journey, part 2. And just to reiterate from last month, I chose a quote from William Shakespeare, which says, "All the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. And they have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts." So we would consider ourselves being in a theater and watching a play as we watch the story unfold for the hero. I feel like I'm in the hero's play right now. Definitely. So I just wanted to reiterate real quickly, last month we went over the 12 stages and I gave a pretty little bit of an in-depth information on each one, and there was quite a lot. So there's one, it's call to adventure. Here our leading character begins in the ordinary world. He or she then receives a call to adventure. There is 2, the refusal of the call, which is my favorite one. This phrase appears as doubt, where the hero is reluctant and may choose to refuse the call for various reasons. And then there's 3, the mentor. The mentor shows up. Here the guide appears to help the hero along the way. Crossing the threshold, at this point, the hero actually leaves the known limits of his or her world and ventures into the unknown. And then number 5 is ashes. Here a total break or a dramatic metamorphosis is requested of the hero. 6, tests and dangers. Here the hero is confronted with a series of tests. Obstacles are thrown across the path. Number 7, meeting the divine. This is the final preparation. The hero experiences an all-encompassing love. Number 8 is the ordeal and temptation. Here the hero must face his or her greatest fear. The hero draws upon the meeting of the divine for strength and guidance to face this fear. Facing death. When the hero confronts physical death or dies to the self to live in spirit, he or she reaches a point of divine knowledge, love, compassion, and bliss. Number 10, the treasure. After passing all tests which prepare and purify the hero, he or she is ready to receive the great gift, the greater knowledge, a secret or insight, spiritual liberation. He or she is now prepared for the last leg of this journey. Number 11, in this stage, the hero is called home, wherever that may be. Master of two worlds. This is the final stage of the hero's journey in which the hero returns home to his ordinary world, a changed person ready to assist others. Okie dokie. So we got that. So we got 12 stages. We got a picture here, which you probably can't see, but you might be able to see the start and the finish. That's pretty much it. There's if you wonder, the meaning of life, there's two answers. One is the quick answer: you've never left God. You are one with all that is. And then there's the temporary answer, which is the hero's journey, and that's what we're doing. We're on the temporary journey, but it's the hero's journey, and here we are. In truth, we are spiritual beings and children of God, pretending to be human. We are masquerading as individuals that are separate from one another in both body and thought. What a great idea we had, this game of hide and seek we play. How else would we have experienced that which we do not know? As the hero's journey goes, we cannot help but think of all the villains in our lives. If we should look back on our lives, quite often, those are the ones that seem to pop up the most into our minds. We have the good thoughts, and then there's some of those bad experiences that we either brush under the rug or we have dealt with that by forgiving it. These villains are the ones that taught us the hardest lessons, the toughest lessons, the ones that showed us what it felt like to not like somebody, even to maybe hate someone, not wish them well. We're angry at them. We found them in the darkest corners of our minds, hiding and waiting to pounce. We stood at the gallows and cheered as we imagined the noose placed around their necks. We sighed with relief as we watched them take their last breath. The hero's journey, mind you. It was then that we became the instrument of our own demise. What we had not realized is what we are doing to ourselves by seeing this darkness and this hate that we felt. That would lead us to recognize the light. Sometimes, by being in the deepest darkness, that is where the light appears. It is in recognizing the darkness that enables us to recognize the light that was there all along. We hid the light from ourselves, thus enabling us to experience that which we have not known. And that which we have not known are all expressions of fear. What if, beyond a doubt, you knew that if you judge someone, that you would truly be judging your own self? I think of this often, because I'm tempted to judge. And what if, beyond a doubt, that you knew if you forgave another person that you would truly be forgiving yourself? What if you knew beyond a doubt that if you loved another person, you would truly be loving yourself? And what if everything you have taught yourself to believe is wrong? What if by judging yourself, you have judged the whole world? And by forgiving yourself, you have set the whole world free? That is the message that Jesus gave us. Love one another as I have loved you. And as we judge, we are judged. And as we forgive, we are forgiven. It seems so simple. This is a little short story that I wrote back in 2013. It's called Curtain Call. One of my favorites. I have probably brought a paragraph here and there into some of my talks that I've given over the past few years since I've been here, but I've not read it in its entirety. I hope you like it. Imagine, if you will, a large stadium filled with everyone you have ever met. And all of them, everyone, from the perceived time you have come into this world until this very moment. There are those you have yet to meet, or so you think. Yes, they are all here, all of them, from the past, from the future, everyone. They're in this stadium. In the stadium, there's a very large stage with curtains that seem to reach beyond the walls. As you enter this stadium, you noticed a bright light, outline of light surrounding the trees and the buildings. You notice this light surrounding your arm as you reach out to open the door. And as you enter the stadium, you are amazed at how many are here. Everyone in this place has a familiar face and a glow about them. They too are surrounded by that bright white light. It surrounds everything and everyone. The feeling is jubilant. There is no place you would rather be than right here. As you make your way through the crowd, there are hugs and handshakes, and a little girl hands you flowers. There is a man just in front of you smiling with that familiar glow. He is motioning for you to follow him. He leads you to the front of the stage, and a symphony orchestra is waiting for you. You are handed a baton, and you say to the one that handed you the baton, "I do not know how to lead an orchestra. I don't know how to do this." And the one who handed you the baton leans in and whispers in your ear, "Oh, but you do. You are the conductor and the composer of this life you chose. Only you know the music that will play. You know the scenes, the life events, the hard times, the laughter and the joy. You know it because you created it. It is your masterpiece." You take your place and tap the baton on the conductor's podium twice. The orchestra begins a soft melody as the curtain starts to rise. The play begins with the moment that you were conceived. Some moments of your life seem to fly by, with the music sounding like a fast galloping horse. Other moments are slow and gentle, like that of a soft, flowing spring. There is suspense as it plays out before your eyes. There are mass moments of clarity and confusion. You cannot count the many times you were both victim and hero. How often you fell and how often you pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and move on. There were a few times when you fell and just laid there crying for help. It was just too hard. And there was always that one that rushed to your aid. There was always that one that rushed in. Someone helped you stand, they brushed you off, they wiped your tears, and helped you laugh again, reminding you that nothing is as bad as it often seems. Then there are the horrific scenes where darkness steps in and plays its part. These are the moments you seemed lost. Fear filled your mind, and all plummeted. Hope was gone. This is your darkest hour of grief, where guilt and unforgiveness have its way. This is where you are broken. In this place of your darkest hour comes a messenger. Maybe a person, a hummingbird, a twinkling star, or a song on the radio. This messenger has many forms, yet it will always appear in the darkest of moments. This is where you find that darkness has no power over you. It is here you realize that truth at last. You see that darkness you created can be undone, not by fighting it or hating it, but by love. At this moment, love comes gushing forth from deep within you. You remember that you are none of these things, but that you are love created in its image. And light returns to your mind. Now, where there was once doubt, there is trust, and you knowing beyond a doubt that all is well. The play comes to an end, and the curtains close, and the one who handed you the baton reaches out his hand, and you give it back to him. You, the composer, are called to stage. As you walk up the stairs, you look out into the stadium. All you can see is a very bright light that covers everything. You stand stage left, looking towards center stage. The curtain begins to rise, and out from behind comes a vast company of players, each of them smiling. There is that glow about them. It is much brighter now than it was at the beginning. The audience clap. The players bow and make their way upstage. They take their places on the stairs that fill a great part of the stage. Then from the left and right stage are those who came and went in your life. These are the sidekicks, the mentors, and those you have forgotten about. But there's also the skeptics. Don't forget them. It wouldn't be a life without the skeptics and the mentors and the sidekicks. They take a bow and take their place on the stage. And finally, here they come, the main players. The audience clap and cheer, although you cannot see them through the bright light. You can hear them, and you know they're there. The lights are just getting so bright for some reason. The main players take a bow, and again, they bow towards you. Your heart is full of gratitude. Some of the main players show a character trait. a certain look, a stance, and you can't help but laugh. And now, beaming outwards from the side wings, off stage shines a beautiful light that illuminates everything with a golden hue. You stand in amazement. This light is so beautiful. It is so brilliant. Words cannot express the feeling you have while you see it. Then, out to center stage walks the villains. Oh, yeah. These are the bad guys of your life. The audience roar. Still can't see them, but you can hear them. They're so loud and they're roaring. They couldn't believe it. You are filled with so much love and compassion, it cannot be contained. You're laughing so hard that you begin to cry. They are not the dark characters whom they portrayed. They are the brightest of all. Their eyes sparkle with spinning lights, and you remember how much you love them. You remember how much you love them. You are so elated by this memory of love that you are finding it difficult to stand. Two of the villain characters walk over to you and, taking you by both arms, help you to stand. Ever so gently, they lead you to center stage. Here at the center stage, you are greeted by the villains, by all of them. For each of them, there is an embrace, and you express your gratitude by saying a very heartfelt thank you. That's right. You and the villains out center stage, hugging all those who have ever done you wrong in your life, or you think they had done you, that caused you the hardest time, that taught you the toughest lessons. Here they are. So much love. One reaches out and wipes a tear from your cheek, smiling as he does so. As he reached out his arm, you noticed you could vaguely make it out. There is so much light now. You have forgiven all you thought you had done, and all you thought that was done to you. Together, the villains and you hold hands as you walk out to the edge of the stage and take the final bow. And as you raise your head, all the players that are there with you and all the audience is but light. The play of separation is over. The hero's journey is done. The at-one-ment is complete. Child of God, forgive me now. I have come to take you home with me. And as we go, the world goes with us on our journey to God. In truth, we are home. We are one with one another, and we are joined with God, whom we have never left, nor from whom we have ever been separate. Never to be born, never to perish, but continue on, for we and the Father are one. And so the journey ends in the same place that it started, for that which is the beginning is also the end. That is the end of my talk, and I'm glad that we got the microphone on so that you could hear that. Well, I was thinking maybe we should have a checklist. While I'm sitting here talking, I had to also think about what just happened, and one of my first thing is, We don't have an absolute checklist where we say, go through this, that, and make sure that everything is exactly the way it should be. And this microphone being on is a big part. And I just skipped over it today because I was probably doing a lot before. I was doing pretty much everything. Anyway. Okay. And so where are we at now? We have special music, and that will return next week. And now we have our offering prayer. Get to bring it. Are you ready? Divine love to me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Now, doesn't like to work here. It just, there you go. Oh, I think because our music is not here, and it's better if everybody can hear more voices. Okay. All right. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. Love of God and power of God protects us. Presence of God watches wherever we are. God is and all is well. Amen. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.